Mr. Vir S Advani is joining us, Vice Chairman, Managing Director, Blue Star Limited. Mr. Advani, short speech, short budget, interesting things in personal taxation, interesting things on infrastructure spending. What caught your eye?
Good morning, Vikram. Thank you for having me. I want to talk about exporters and international trade. You know, we had 5 asks. There was to make sure that the RODTEP financing was adequate, that export finance would be looked at, that there would be a push for export infrastructure so that we could be more competitive, that India could participate more in GVCs and global value chains, and that R&D investment would get a focus. So, you know, out of all those 5 asks, we've got several of them that I'm very pleased about. Most important is the rationalization of import duties. That will really help us integrate into global value chains. We saw some mention in mobile phones, shrimp feed, lab-based diamonds, open cells for televisions. I'm sure as the details come out, there'll be more. So that's a big help.
I'm just going to interrupt you there for a minute and yes, just come back to you in 3 or 4 minutes.
Sure.
All right, Mr. Advani, thanks so much for joining that. I'll just come back to you, but we do have Mr. Sinha joining us, Chairman of BCG. It's such a pleasure to have you with us here. It was an interesting speech. I just wanted to get your take on it. Short, sweet, and yet there was a reasonable amount in there.
I actually think it is consistent, and it has allowed for predictability for business. For the last 4 years, we've been building on the same themes. Infrastructure. You could see the accent on green. You could see the financial sector getting attention. You could see agriculture. You could see the welfare measures for the poor. So it's been consistent over the 4 years, which has made business planning a lot easier. I love a budget which is uneventful. Of course, this one has a little bit of sweets with it because the direct taxes have been reduced.
Yeah. But it's an interesting point you make. You like a budget that doesn't have much in it. A 1.5-hour speech, a few basic points, read the financial bills for more detail, including duty changes. In many ways, you're saying that helps in continuity. A budget should not be a tamasha. It should not be a major event.
Completely, because it allows me to plan. It allows a business to predict and plan for 5 years and 10 years. So with infrastructure, productivity increasing, we know what we need to do. And that's the best thing over the last 4 years, the consistency and the clarity with which the government has been moving forward.
So the interesting part is you want budgets that are boring. If all the hard work has been done and the framework is there, the ship is sailing in the right direction. Now, please don't tamper with it. Let the ship keep sailing, right?
Exactly.
Provided the right things have been done.
Exactly right. I couldn't have said it better.
Okay, so what has been done right so far to get the ship in the right direction? And what is it that still needs to be done? Because that's what needs to be checked off the list.
So look, we are in a very uncertain world today. The 6.4% fiscal deficit was met. Next year, 5.9% has been restated. And we are going to 4.5%, which has been said. We are the fastest growing economy in the world with the lowest inflation amongst the G7. So it's a great situation. You could have imagined the elections are coming, let's be populist. None of that. It was clear, it was continuing on a path with infrastructure spending continuing, education and health continuing to get focus. So if you really look at it, what do we need? We need to fix our infrastructure. We've been doing a lot on the hard, and now we are starting to focus on the soft. And we are an economy which is growing. And so we should not mess around with what we've got going right now. Let's keep it going.
Don't mess around, keep things going. And infrastructure spending, are you happy with that number?
Yes, I was.
All right. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
It was great that you came and joined us. Right. 1 second. Mr. Vijay, just turning to you on your reaction.
What he said?
Yeah, on what he said. I think, Mr. Sinha, you can go. I know we're going to be shuffling people in and out of here just for a while. Yeah.
I think he got it bang on. Business wants predictability. a predictable bad law is better than a law that keeps changing, because planning, and a person like BCG would obviously know the value of predictability. Yeah. And I think gang on, the priorities have been the same, it's been expected. It was boring, but, let it be boring. What does it matter? We have got T20 matches anyway. So, but one thing, the other gentleman from London, at that point, probably, I feel if Modi comes back to power, as everyone thinks he will attack the inequality issue. Because that's not something that's done, it's not something that's done in the election year budget type of thing, The inequality issue, how does he address it? It would require,
It's just that logically, I think we've just heard from CI and BCG, and that's as big as it gets when it comes to India Inc. They are smiling, they're saying this is what we want. Right, you've got President of CI and the chairman of BCG, both have joined us and told us what they think. So India Inc. is saying, all right, this is what was good. But doing it after the election as opposed to before the election means that Mr. Modi is obviously really confident about winning the election.
I feel so. In a very roundabout way, I got the same thought, Vikram. Yeah. He doesn't need to be populist. For him it's business as usual.
He thinks I'm popular enough, I don't need to be populist. Let me not worry about the election too much. It'll happen anyway.
Yeah. But another thing, Vikram, complacency is not good. Don't you get the feeling that people are getting a bit complacent in India?
About the India economy? Perhaps, Pat. But let me take a break right now. There's a lot more to be discussed on all of this. We have a bunch of guests coming in to join us.